My name's Kimwell Londino, and I'm finna tell you about my financial life after high school. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do when I graduate, I'm gonna go to the University of Texas at Austin. I plan on going there 4 years to get my bachelor's degree in philosophy, and then after that, I'm gonna use that liberal arts degree while I'm going to law school and finish that out. So in total, I'm gonna be doing 7 years of schooling, and I'll be graduating around the age of 25. Alright, so with all of my expertise, with all of my knowledge, my accomplishments, and certifications, I will become an attorney at a law firm also in Austin, Texas, because I plan on staying in the area. So yeah, that's gonna be the start of my career afterwards. Alright, so we're gonna go into the lower end for the salary of a starting out an attorney, and we're gonna say $93.5 thousand a year. That's the low end. That's the bottom 25th percentile, right? And then on top of that, I also plan on getting really educated and in-depth into trading as well, in stocks and all of that. So with that little gig on the side, I'm gonna also once again go on the low end, lowball myself, and say that I'm only making $20,000 a year from it. So, you know, that's on the low end, around $110,000, $116,000. Alright, so excuse myself, my math was not correct. I'll actually be making $113,500. That's how much I'd be making a year. But after taxes and all that jazz, I'll be bringing home around $88,398. That's more realistic take-home pay for me. So divide that by 12, and I'm pulling in around $7,366 a month. Not too shabby. So now that we know how much money I'm bringing in, we gotta know how much money leaving the account, right? So first we're gonna start off with the one-time expenses. What I'm most likely gonna do, I'm gonna get a used car off of Facebook Marketplace. Right here, I got an example for you. This is a nice little used car, right? It's gonna get me from point A to point B. $39,000. That's in the Austin area as well, just to keep it realistic. $39,000. Or I could get a new car with a down payment of $0, so technically it's a $0 one-time fee, but then I got a car note, and I also don't own the car. So yeah, keep that in mind. But on top of that, I also have to have somewhere to live. I can't live in my dorm whole life. So I'm gonna get an apartment. I'm gonna have to pay a one-time apartment fee of $150. So with my new balance, I'm gonna take my $88,398, subtract the $3,900 from the used car that I'm gonna be buying off of Facebook Marketplace, and another quick $150 from that one-time apartment fee, and I'm gonna be at $84,348. Not bad. Now it's time for the monthly expenses. That's where things get serious, right? So, you know, there's multiple monthly expenses I'll have to pay. I have to pay for bills, I have to pay for groceries, I have to pay for gas, etc. So my rent's gonna be $1,245. I'm gonna live in a one-bedroom apartment. Utilities is gonna cost me $109 per month. Gas in my car, on the mediocre end, it's gonna cost $130. I'm not gonna be using my car that much just to go to school, or not go to school, go to work really. Groceries, once again on the lower end, because I'm one person. I'm not gonna be feeding the whole family, so that's gonna be around $300. Health insurance is $500. That's like the average. And then miscellaneous wants, such as subscriptions, video games, and unnecessary clothing, I'm gonna jump that all the way to $3,000 based off of how I already spend my money on things that I want, and how I know I'm gonna spend my money on things that I want. So we're just gonna highball that to $3,000. Really, it's gonna be less than that, but just for the sake of the situation of the project, we're gonna highball that. So now to drop the math on you, I started off with $84,348, right, after my one-time expenses. So we're gonna subtract 12 times, because there's 12 months in a year, and we're gonna do like how much I'm gonna have at the end of the year. So 12 times 1245, 109, 130, 300, 500, and 3000. That's all of my monthly expenses, and that gives me $20,940. That's how much money I'm gonna have at the end of the year. So, in conclusion, because of the fact that I chose to live a very, very hard life for a good 7 years as I struggled through college, I get to finally celebrate with $20,000 left over in the end of the year. And really, I could put that to my savings. More than likely, I'm gonna put some into my savings, put some into some investments, probably buy some gold or something. And then on top of that, for the first like few years out of college, I'm gonna have to pay my student loans, right? Because college ain't free. But yeah, that's really all it is. So realistically, past like, as I grow into my adult years and get into that, a realistic like just leftover money I'm gonna have is $20,000. So yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you for watching.